You see, Cabral,
Uh-huh.
Draft League is like cake.
Okay.
It has layers,
Uh-huh.
and you gotta start with it one slice at a time, 1 week at a time.
Oh. Oh, I
And then
like
if
that.
you eat the whole cake, you get to fight other people's cake. I feel the analogy is a little bit breaking down.
You're kind of losing the plot here. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Double Dip Draft. And by back, I mean welcome to week one of Aqua Division. I am Cabral, coach of the Slinging Aegis Slashers. Joining me today.
It's Aurora, coach of the Honchkrows Hunters, and we have got the first 4 matches to bring to you.
Yeah, we got some cake to bring to you. Some of these slices here. We got to go through and dissect them and understand them. So, for those of you who are new, this is our weekly analysis of all the matches. We do this for every division. If you want to check out the other ones, Rocket, Skull, Magma, if you're in those, please check those out. But we're going to go through, talk about the matches, talk about some strategy plans that have gone into them, some of the Pokemon use, some of the ways some of the players battle. And I love doing this stuff. I love just looking at people having their silly little fights and their silly little matches. I also just enjoy watching the matches. I like that we're playing now. That's so exciting and that's so fun.
I love everything about drafts except when I have to play my own match. That's the worst part of it.
That's completely fair. But you know what? We're not looking at your match. Whose match are we looking at?
We are looking at the first match of this week, which is the Treasure Town Togetics, as coached by Mass, versus the Blood Moon Bears, as coached by Bick.
Yeah, I immediately look into the team composition. I see something very interesting here. You know Miascarada, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
I do know
Uh,
a few Pokemon.
you know that gets triple axle, right?
It does get triple, actually. It's a pretty
You-
good move, I've heard.
You know that this thing basically OHKOs every single Pokemon on Mass's team right now, right?
Well, maybe not Manaphy, but
I mean, maybe
aside
not
from that,
Manaphy.
yes.
it does kill pretty much everything here.
And maybe like a Simian Quillfish with like Intimidate. Can
Yeah,
do
that's
some,
true.
do
Intimidate
some
can
good.
be really nice actually, looking at Big's team because there's so much physical offense looking at that team. So Quillfish with Intimidate could be really nice.
Yeah, it's also like basically the only thing that switches into Miascarada, but let's see what Mass came up with to deal with Big's
Yeah.
threatening lineup right here.
Big of
Because
course.
there's more things than just Miascarada to worry about.
That's so true. Just before I start, I do want to mention Big is a newer player to draft, at least with our league. And Mass has been here for, goodness, has it been 3 or 4 seasons already? Because I think it has been 3 or 4 seasons at this point.
Something like that. I'll go figure that out while you
Yeah,
get
go
us
ahead
into
and
this
figure that
match.
out. I'll go ahead and get us started. So we do see a start for Thunder Therian, and we also see Miascarada, and we see Triple Axle, which is terrifying because this thing... Oh, no, it missed. Okay, well, and it died. Insane.
Can we just note that it died to a Focus Blast too?
Yeah, that is actually crazy because that threat is completely gone to Mass's team. That opens Big... Not wide open, but that does open him up to more of the stuff. Also, that Quillfish is not Intimidate. Which means
Yeah,
it's
that
either
Quillfish
Swift
is
Swim or
either
Poison
Swift
Point.
Swim or it's Swift Swim or Poison Point, which I'm guessing Poison Point just to get the Iron Barbs to just poison like pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Also, this is Mass's 5th season with us.
Wow. Okay. Man. Nice call on Mass, expecting the Surf to come back. Also, that Earthquake doing like 75% of that thing's health was insane.
Yeah. Tropicos coming in here. Terra Shell making the first move that it takes always be resistance. Doesn't matter much in this case, just means it basically take half damage from
Yeah.
the first surf.
And then we see a physical Azelf here, which is a very interesting set. It's not a bad set per se, but the flinch is insane.
I mean, it's fishing for flinches is basically like what this is hoping to do, because like outside of that, these special moves that Azelf is able to learn generally just are higher base power.
Yeah.
So even though its offenses are statistically equal between the two, functionally it's going to be wanting to be a special attacker most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. Diamond Storm is always fun. This thing switching to Terra Grass I think is a really good call with Terra Blast, really nice. Obviously this is always the switch into Quillfish, any steel type, it really doesn't dish out a lot of damage, honestly.
Yeah. I actually just looked at the chat. Apparently Meowscarada was scarfed, and I'm guessing Mass knows that because Thunderous might have also been scarfed.
See, but the thing is, Meowscarada is still faster with a scarf than everything else on Mass's team, so.
Yeah.
Sugarberry's great. Love seeing that. Ice Spinner's interesting. I feel like a rock move would have been a little more universal, but it does the job great.
Yeah, and unfortunately also here, like after the speed boost from Rapid Spin, this thing is just kind of faster than everything, even than the Scarfed Thunderous, knocking it out with Ice Spinner. And
that's actually insane.
There goes the rest of Matt's team.
Yeah. Trick Room is a lot of fun to see. We don't see that super often, especially with a team that's fairly fast. Bic playing really well into that, like leaning into Deontay and like the attacks it has and how hard it can hit stuff, and just leaning into Trick Room despite having a Scarf Meowscarada and Iron Treads, which are very fast Pokemon, notably.
Yeah, I feel it's more so a case of like Deontay just setting up Trick Room for itself and nothing else. Like Quillen can come in if Deontay happens to die.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just like there so like it can do its thing.
Yeah, but very well played by Vic, giving him a 5-0 over the Treasure Town Togetics, and that's a very fun first week match. But you know, we got 3 more to look at, and we're gonna play this one on fast mode. We have Alter of the Sliggoo Sluggers and Mad Capture of the Grass Valley Greninjas. The 2 Sun teams in the Aqua division are fighting each other week 1. Both are newer players. I know Alter has done some Pokemon stuff in the past, but nothing like this level of draft or anything like that. So it's basically his first time playing because it's also just been a while in general. Mad Capture is buddies with Kenneth and Spood. I don't know how much Pokemon Mad Capture's done. I don't think the answer is much, but it's also his first season. So these are new players, and so I expect to see just kind of new player things. Maybe some bad switch-ins, maybe some safer options instead of more like being offensive or being aggressive or whatever, or switch-ins that are not like proper here and there. You know, there's a level of draft that you don't pick up until you play Season or 2, I feel like.
Yeah, it can take a bit of getting used to. Like, just playing Pokemon, like, does give you, like, a huge advantage just, like, knowledge-wise. And especially, like, in the battles themselves. But, like, a lot of draft is already determined at team building.
Yeah.
Like, just... Like, because you know, like, what a Pokemon generally wants to do. Like, oh, like, I know that Venusaur generally... wants to just like sit there and be a fat lard ass, but and because I believe this is Mega Venusaur.
This is Mega
but
Venusaur.
because this is draft, like Mad Capture can have prepared like a chlorophyll sweeper, not planning on clicking the Mega button at all.
Yeah. You see other Pokemon
like,
there.
just...
You see the fish, which is always bulky support, wish pivot with like flip turn or protect, or I think it gets screens as well. It gets toxic. And you can be a little cheeky and do some like scald nonsense with it as well, just to get some extra chip damage or a burn chance or something too.
Yeah, we hate the fish in this household, and I do hope that it dies on one of the early turns because
me
it just
too. I
slows
sure
down
hope it
games
dies on one of the
so
early
fucking much.
Well, let's get that started while we keep chatting in the background. You can see we're in fast speed.
We probably could have started it earlier already.
Yeah, probably could have. We do see screens set up.
We see
here.
this Audino. Yeah, we see the Audino comes in, sets up screens. Because it is Mega Audino and can only hold the Mega Stone, we do know that these screens will only be on the field for 5 turns, which does make them a lot more difficult to utilize than they would otherwise be. But they can still like afford some setup opportunities to something like a Gouging Fire.
Yeah, we do see yawn tactics on Clodsire, which is really funny. Not a bad tactic per se, but it's something where in the opportunity we had Sandy Shocks out, Earthquake could have just been really nice to click, or Earth Power, just to do some damage to it.
Yeah, speaking of that Clodsire versus Sandy Shocks, Clodsire having a balloon, as well as being a ground type, means that Sandy Shocks actually just struggles to hit it altogether.
Yeah.
Which means it makes it a pretty safe switch into it, unless it has like some kind of coverage move we can use to pop the balloon.
We do see Roar immediately, and we know that it's very likely Madcapster's deal is setting up hazards, clicking Roar, and then just making Alter's Pokemon switch around, take chip damage, chip damage, chip damage. So Madcapster can come in and sweep with Venusaur, come in with a Photosynthesis, Walking Wake, or a Sandy Shocks.
Yeah. Alter does have Mew to take care of hazards, but unfortunately, Mew has since perished due to a presumably Choice Specs Chandelure.
Yeah, I think so.
Just like it one-shotting it with a Shadow Ball through screens, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
At least it's like doing a huge chunk to it.
Which is kind of a shame.
So that means that like any hazards coming out of Madcap's sides from this point forward are going to be permanent, and we are going to see the pains of that very soon.
Yeah, we do see finally some attacks coming through because the two players at like turn 20 something had been switching and setting up hazards and flip turning around. No one had really done anything till then, so we got to see some action. And honestly, looking into the team comps, Gouging Fire is actually really strong into Madcapster's team. There's a lot of stuff that it can do. Obviously, Screamtail can be a little scary, Walking Wake, but it hits so hard.
Yeah, it is interesting to see Madcap switch into Chandelure on the fire type outrage that Gouging Fire gets.
Mm-hmm.
And then doubling out into Walking Wake, knowing that like he's stuck using it, he can't switch. And if this thing is Flash Fire, it would have just been immune and gotten a free like either Overheat or Shadow Ball off.
Yeah, and Sandy Shocks is such an interesting switch into Clodsire because again, this thing we haven't seen the other move, and if I remember correctly, I helped alternate the team building. It is Earth Power, and clicking that simply would have gone through and probably done a lot of damage to Sandy Shocks.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we're gonna be seeing as sort of like a running theme towards these last 40 fucking turns that are left.
Yeah.
Alter does still have the tools in his arsenal to win this.
Yeah.
But it requires him applying pressure to the opponent. And unfortunately, like setting up these screens, which just keep not really accomplishing much.
Yeah.
Like he's just not applying the pressure that he needs to. Like that, and I know that's the Pokemon that he has left can't necessarily apply the most pressure, but especially Toxic is important to just like get on as many Pokemon as possible at this point.
No, absolutely, because you still have the fish there. You can Wish Pass, you can bring the fish in on Torkoal easily. You can just click Wish, go back to Clodsire. Then you can just click Earth Power, go back to the fish, Regenerator the fish, Wish, and then keep rinse repeating and apply that pressure because everything on Madcapster's team does not like Earth Power. It does a lot of damage. And with how bulky Clodsire is, Specs will do a lot of damage, but I don't think it would outright kill a high HP Clodsire, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and we keep just seeing like the back and forth like switching. Screamtail keeps coming in on this Alvamola because it kind of gets like the free Wish Pass off, and also interestingly switching into his Clodsire then switching out immediately.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure either.
Because like after Clodsire switches out there, due to these spikes, it will die the next time it switches in. So it's just kind of sacking it for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. And we do see Screamtail finally die. With Screamtail dead, you think, oh, now the match is like nearly over. Alola Mola with Toxic here applies so much pressure, and that's just something again. Alter's not out of the woods yet. You have Toxic, you have Wish, you have Protect, you have a lot of HP. You don't have to Wish every single turn necessarily. You can just be cheeky with it, play it safe, and then you can still apply pressure with that Toxic between all the other Pokemon left. It's just a matter of applying the pressure.
Yeah, we do have Screamtail finally dead.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like Madcap is going to be like stumbling and fumbling around this Alamamola a bunch.
Yeah.
He is definitely like trying to maximize the amount of like turns that he's getting out of his leftovers, like getting his wishes and stuff off.
Yeah.
And like at this point, like Madcap has had like a few opportunities to actually knock out this Alamamola already.
Yeah.
Mainly with the defense boosted Torkoal, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But just like fumbling it and like getting cold feet and switching out.
Yeah.
keeps making it like just barely not get there. And also like this this walking wake, it has both Dragon Pulse and Draco Meteor.
Oh, that's so
and
interesting.
we are going to see it. Yeah, we are going to see it like do a bunch of pulses here, like, and get this element model low.
Yeah.
So one guy here, and the full para means that it can't get the thing up. And here you need to Draco.
Yeah.
But you don't, and now it doesn't die because it doesn't deal enough damage, and now it heals back up, and now the follow-up Draco doesn't do enough.
Yep. Unfortunate paralysis there because it would have lived here actually. But again.
Yeah, if it got to protect off, it would have healed again with the wish, and this walking wake would have become a sitting duck again.
But this is just something where for newer players knowing when to apply pressure, because even in this end game, like Alter could have brought down the number of Pokemon Madcapster had with Toxics in the right place and with Protect. But again, that's stuff that more experienced players would understand. But when you're new, you're probably looking at this team and just playing defensively, trying to play it safe. And there's a time to play defensively, but when you start applying pressure, making your opponent have to do the switch-ins or do the thinking, then you're in control, and there's a lot more you can do with your team, because team comp-wise, I do think Alter has the slightly better advantageous team. Nothing crazy better, but there's like little things that Alter could do with Clodsire just clicking Earth Power on Chandelure, clicking Earth Power on Sandy Shocks whenever it switched into it, because that seemed to be Madcapster's switch into Clodsire, which was interesting, but it's like all Alter had to do was just click Earth Power a few times, would have taken down so many of these other things.
Yeah, it's so weird to like that this walking wake is not like toxic by the end. I didn't pay too much attention to it to see if it was maybe because of the full paras. I don't feel like this Elemental got full parrot like too much. That's why I was able to live for so fucking long.
Yeah, I don't think
Wish really needs to be reduced to just 8 PP. Fuck that move.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It was used 11 times.
Still has 5 left.
There was 11 wishes used in this fight, which is crazy. Yeah. Also, like after you've spent like 10 turns like fumbling to try and kill something in front of you that's just like not dying for some reason. It's worth it to just like take a moment and sit there and try and consider like, okay, what's going to be the plan to try and take this thing down? Because like just clicking moves without thinking too hard about them isn't doing it. At the end here, Madcapster realized he has Trick on Chandelure.
Yeah.
And if he had just tricked anything or tricked the choice item onto the fish, that just puts it out of commission. It's either stuck like wishing, protecting, flip turning, or toxicking now.
Yep.
And whichever one you pick, like it's just not applying any more pressure, and you are free to just do whatever it is that you so please.
Yeah. No, for sure. But that is going to be a win for Madcapster week 1, and yeah, I think with that, can you introduce us to the next couple of teams we got left? Our next couple here, and then I'll introduce the last set.
Yeah, the next couple are a bunch of double dip veterans. We've got Nick of the Bayou Bellibolts. I had to correct myself.
I heard you thinking out loud.
I was about to say the wrong team.
I know. I heard your thoughts. You're like low fill lanterns and echoes in your head. You're like, no, wait.
Yeah. Versus Jason of the Hartford Honchkrows.
Yeah, both have been around for a while. I think.
Yeah.
6 seasons for both of them, maybe more.
Yeah, like Nick is mostly like doesn't have like the full lineup of seasons just because he's like set out some of them, but I do feel like he's been with us from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And Jason joins basically around the same time that most of the. Actually, I feel Jason joined 1 season earlier than the other Blasters.
I can see that.
Like I feel Jason like might have been like one of the catalysts to like get more of them in here. Either way, like if you're just looking at these two teams, this is gonna be a slugfest. There's a lot of damage output on both sides here.
It's just Lando T, Greninja, and Latios. Like I don't see, a huge power Medicham.
Mega Medicham. Yeah.
Yeah. And Salamences.
And on Nick's side, a Salamences and a Blacephalon.
Oh goodness.
The horse, and don't underestimate Tinglu either. That's like 115 base attack still.
Yeah, hits hard. Body press is insane from that thing. And I think we just need to get into the Slugfest as it starts up here.
Yeah.
Ladio starting up, which makes sense. It's faster. It hits pretty hard. Psychic Noise is so interesting because... Actually, no. Sorry. This is a different Urshifu. This is water fighting, not dark. So it does hit that.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's the correct move to click.
Yep. Whirlpool is
and
so
here we
funny.
see a very interesting Dugong set.
You don't like Whirlpool, and I imagine, like, what, Parasong and, like, something else?
Yeah, we'll see later that it is indeed Parasong.
Yeah,
it would have been so cool if this thing was Covert Cloak to just fuck up this Medicham after it tries to fake out.
That'd be
But
really
it fucks
funny.
it up anyway with an Avalanche because Jason decided not to go for close combat. I guess fearing the Blacephalon coming in, which is fair because he doesn't have a switch into Blacephalon.
Yeah, and losing the horse right away is so interesting. It's like, I'm just surprised because I feel like, I don't know, it could have done a little more. VC Whirlpool again coming in, what's happening?
Yeah, I am interested sort of in Nick's mentality for not going into Blacephalon there, like because like a Shadow Ball into that Tapu Lele is just like free as hell. Nothing wants to take it. Like Greninja does resist it, yes, but also it's Greninja and doesn't take it, especially not from Blacephalon.
Yeah. U-turn does so much damage there, and of course U-turn does prevent Whirlpool, so you can't just switch out on that.
Yep, and now the Psychic Noise gets blocked, and Nick is out of the Parasong as well.
Yep.
And now this Lando is here to deal a whopping 24 damage with a U-turn on a Salamence, which, like, that's bandit as fuck. Okay, thank you.
Crazy. Protean Ice Beam is really funny. Crazy crit there.
Crazy crit, but it doesn't matter regardless. Like, this thing has plenty of special defense. It's physically very frail, but on the special defense side, this thing is going to live forever.
Yeah. Lele coming in, probably expecting another Moon Blast.
Yeah, and then Lele decides, actually, I want to deal with the physical defense, which you don't have, and now it's gone.
Psyshock is crazy.
Yeah. Nick probably realized that that's probably a Specs on this Tapu Lele.
Absolutely could be. Heavy Slam just
that's the
killing
only
it,
way.
though.
That's the only way I imagine it's doing like this much damage.
Yeah. U-turn makes sense. Have to sack something to get something else in safely. Greninja comes out. Bring out Salamence, probably to bait an Ice Beam if this thing is Specs or Scarf or whatever it is.
Yeah, which he probably could have been able to tell by the damage on the Florges.
Yeah.
And basically knowing that, like, there is no move that Jason can click there that will not give this thing like one free turn where Nick can then use Trailblaze, and after Trailblaze is set up, he outspeeds everything, and with Surging Strikes, the Intimidate doesn't matter.
Yeah, very clean 26 round fight with Nick going 2-0 and claiming a week 1 win. Again, kind of a slugfest. I think the Dugong set is really funny, but again, Whirlpool doesn't work on things that can U-turn or flip turn out of there.
Yeah, I mean, like, it clearly was supposed to be his answer to Hans, the horse.
Yeah. Maybe even Ting Lu, actually.
True. Just didn't quite get it off for whatever reason.
Yeah. So, but really funny. I like seeing that kind of tech. I love unique sets. And speaking of unique sets, we do have our last fight with GTP Woody of the Schaumburg Salamences and Scoots of the Portland Palafins. Both players being veterans completely. We have Scoots, who is probably number 1 seeded in the entire draft league right now since IDM is out of the season. So, and then we also have Woody on the opposite end of that spectrum. And we do see a really kind of newer team for Woody. I like seeing Dracovish here. That thing's terrifying. Porygon 2 is a fantastic Pokemon. Mega Lopunny is insane, actually, what it does. And yeah, I see a lot of cool stuff also on Scoot's team. I love Ferrothorn.
Lopunny is actually like surprisingly threatening against Scoots' team because everything that it outspeeds, it does threaten with a lot of damage.
Yes.
Just like fighting a normal type stabs into everything it's neutral into, a triple axle to like get Latias out of the way. Close combat can even threaten Ferrothorn once it's taken some damage. I don't believe it one-shots. It is very scary. Like, yeah, he does have the Regieleki to outspeed it and hopefully like be able to OHKO it if need be. But we'll have to see how Scoots and Woody navigate this match first.
Yeah, definitely do. Ferrothorn lead makes complete sense, actually. It sits on most of Woody's team. It can do a lot of stuff. Woody has traced Iron Barbs on that thing, which makes sense. So it's either Iron Barbs, like Rocky Helmet, or Leftovers. Usually it's one or the other on it for Ferrothorn.
Yeah, like you're not going to see like many other items on this thing. Maybe like a Covert Cloak can help to...
Maybe a Silly Berry or something to take a hit from something.
Yeah, like a Fire type berry to like lift one hit and then like counter with a Gyro Ball or a knockoff or whatever this thing
but seeing
has to hit.
Seeing the rock, seeing the spikes, it's very clear to me that Scoots is playing a very kind of slow, methodical game of knocking off Leftovers, doing chip with everything, fake out, just taking 12% from that. This Kangaskhan's down and not even being hit by a Pokemon to like 46% health.
Yeah, I'm actually honestly surprised that Scoots didn't go for the Rocky Helmet Iron Barb set, given that he does know that he's facing a Mega Lopunny, which does like to fake out.
Yeah.
Woody famously clicking fake out more than once in a row.
Yeah. On top of that as well, I believe we'll see this a little later in the match. We do see the Leech Seed on Ferrothorn. So this entire team is built to just keep chipping away at Woody's health points. Again, we're down to 70%. Copperage has been out twice. And then down to 40% already. Ferrothorn comes out. It just tanks an Earthquake with that Reflect. We do see later that the Regieleki is just Reflect and like some attacking moves. And it's like, that's all Scoots brought, which is really funny to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't even have Rapid Spin.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need it.
No.
Yeah, getting the Eviolite off of this thing is always so very valuable. Woody doesn't have too much in the form of healing on his team. He has 2 Pokemon with healing moves, but like unlike some of the other matches we've seen, he can't wish pass between. So like Dracovish, Copperajah, Kangaskhan, all the damage that they are taking is permanent.
Yeah, and we do see Recover and Roost, of course, on the Bird and Porygon too. But at this point, look at the hazards on Woody's side of the field. And Scoots is just sitting here, taking hits all day, recovering with Leech Seed, recovering with Leftovers as well, and it's just taking back HP. Look, this thing's down to 16% health now. And it has boots.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Scoots didn't go for Power Whip there, like predicting Woody to go for a Roost.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe the combination like Confusion plus a Hurricane could have maybe killed Ferrothorn. And there was no reason to like risk that quite yet.
Yeah.
The fake out into a Reflect Ferrothorn is so sad.
Yeah.
2% in return for you are dead.
Yeah. It is crazy to me how Scoots is just sitting here taking it slow again, being methodical, and just letting Woody's Pokemon be chipped down further and further and further. This thing only having Tri-Attack, Recover, Shadow Ball, and some other thing that's irrelevant.
Yeah. One thing I think is also a shame is like we do see Copperajah Heavy Slam into Ferrothorn at some point.
Yeah.
And it does like 26, which means that like that thing is a shit ton heavier than Ferrothorn is. And also Copperajah learns Heat Crash. And I would have loved to see Woody use it here because it would have just knocked this thing out.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
But instead, like never clicking a fighting type move and only clicking things that are resisted by Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Woody is just systematically being torn apart bits by bits.
Again,
it's the Fable getting off a Clutch Moonblast to knock this thing out.
We just see, look, 6%, 25% health, and it's like, here comes Ferrothorn. Here's a fake out. Oh, and there goes more HP. There goes another 12%. This thing down to 21% already, mostly from rocks and fake out.
Yeah. Actually, I'm so curious, like how much damage that thing would have done. Because it got a lot of HP back from leftovers.
Yeah. Ancient
But
power.
also, like, could you imagine if that thing like had the Rocky helmet? It would have done so much.
Yeah.
And Scoot's revealing that even though the bird probably has Vol Absorb, he's got 18 power on this thing to knock it out.
Yeah.
It's the final little surprise.
But a clean, tidy little match for Scoots, getting a 5-0, not quite a 6-0 on this. But again, just showing the importance of hazard control. If you don't have a way to remove your hazards, and you just keep bringing your Pokemon and that is 12% from spikes, and then the no, other way around, sorry, right? Is it 25% from the rocks or the spikes?
Well, it depends. Like, if you're weak to rocks, you take 25 from rocks, and spikes goes from 12.5% to, I believe, 16, and then to 25.
Okay. Yep. So it's the spikes doing like 25% health after Pokemon come in that resisted it, doing like 12 or 6 or whatever it was. And it's just whittling down Woody's Pokemon to below 75 HP when they switch in and they're completely healthy. And that usually is enough to determine, like, there are moves that will two-shot Pokemon. There's enough moves and like damage that Pokemon can generally do where losing over 25% of your health means you are now in an OHKO range of an average move from an average Pokemon.
Yeah. I also love how Scoots played the Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
Like, just being able to like keep it healthy enough to like keep it switching into new Pokemon, keep taking the hits, and keep being just outside of range. Woody needing to make like predictions to try and catch anything off guard, but he keeps opting for just like the most straightforward moves. Scoot's calling him out on every turn and just keeping control of the match from beginning to the very end.
Yeah. But with that being said, could you read to me the top half of Aqua Division for Week 1? I'll take the bottom half.
The top half is currently in first place, a tie between the Blood Moon Bears and the Portland Palafins, both having 1 win and 5 differential. Next up, we've got Mad Capture with the Grass Valley Greninjas, 1 win and 4 differential. And lastly, in 4th spot, we have Nick, the Bayou Bellibolts, with 1 win and 2 differential.
Over in 4th place, technically, because first place is tied for. We have the Hartford Honchkrows at an 0-1 -2, with the Sliggoo Sluggers at an 0-1 -4, and tied for last place is the Treasure Town Togetics and the Schaumburg Salamences, both at an 0-1 -5. And I'm very curious. Go ahead.
It says still 5th place. If people are above you, are tied.
Ah, gotcha. Well, they're still last place. They're tied for last. But yeah. Either way, I'm very interested and curious to see how this division shakes up. With 2 5 and 5s, we do have 2 people set at the very top already, you know, with some good differential. And early differential makes a really big difference for like later season stuff. As we keep going through the weeks and stuff, these points usually make a really nice big difference, especially if you get some worse losses later or even better wins. That just bumps you up even higher.
Yeah, we also had a very interesting match of getting the Greninjas versus the Sliggoo Sluggers in week 1 here. Mm-hmm. 2 new players fighting each other.
The 2 Sun teams
like
fighting
showing
each other.
Two Sun teams fighting each other. But importantly, like now they've sort of like been able to like show a little bit of like, oh, this is like the team building I do, the mentality I have like while battling, and now we'll see like how they fare against the. Well, most of these people are mainstays from Double Dip. Big is the 3rd outsider in this division.
Yeah.
I say outsider, I mean newcomer.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's a lot we're going to see out of Aqua. I'm very curious to see just the teams kind of like take shape and the new players really kind of find their groove, you know, because usually for new players, week 1, week 2, they're really kind of getting into it, understanding it. They start adjusting some things here and there. and they slowly get better as the season goes on. Usually by the end, they kind of like really have an idea about their team, on how you play, when to apply pressure. They start picking up on those little things here and there. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap it up for the Aqua division. Obviously, you can check out Aurora and Nick over in the Skull division. Skull. And you can catch Spood and myself in Magma, or you can catch... who's the other one? Am I missing one? There's one more. Rocket.
It's
no, I did.
Yeah, it's Rockets, Magma, Aqua, and Skull.
I see what I did. I did it kind of backwards because, yeah. Anyways,
Can't believe you forgot about my division, but my division isn't that important. We don't watch it.
yeah, exactly. No, that's all right. Either way, I want to thank you all so much for joining us. Please check out the other videos along with this one or alongside of this one. We have a lot of other stuff to cover during the weeks to come, and please take any information you can glean off of this, learn from these battles, and learn how your opponents play and all that good stuff. And we wish you a happy drafting season, match season. I don't know. I'm excited for playoffs. That's all that matters.
See y'all in week 2.
Goodbye.